Welcome to the Little Miss Movies podcast, where two movie-obsessed parents make their 11-year-old watch movies she'd never watch otherwise. This is Season 2, Episode 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street. Hi, welcome back to the Little Miss Movies podcast. I'm Josh. I'm a writer of TV, movies, comics, video games, despite my child disagreeing, and other stuff. Music, write music. You should buy. I have an album. I didn't even promote it. I couldn't promote. I have an album you can buy.
You should have promoted it.
I'm so stupid.
We'll
I have an
link
album.
We shall
we'll put
link
a link to my album that you can either buy or stream for free on Apple Music, etc. And I am also the proud-ish father of Little Miss Movies.
Ish.
Hi, I'm Christina. I am also a writer. I write Hollywood, Golden Age Hollywood stuff and comics as well. And I'm a librarian and an archivist. And I am the mother of Little Miss Movies. Do you know what I discovered today? That I do embarrass her sometimes. She wouldn't specify how, but she says yes.
It's like I told you.
At times, I do embarrass her.
It's like I told you. Every child at some point in their life is embarrassed by their parents.
I get that.
Do I embarrass you?
No.
That's
No.
right. Zing.
What?
Damn straight.
Wait till he starts dressing up as Batman to pick you up from
Yeah.
school.
No. I mean, you go all the way off the block. I just walk down to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I keep my distance just to make sure.
Yeah, you do.
Because he's embarrassed of you.
Yep.
That's nice. Hi, I'm Gable. I'm Little Miss Movies. I'm 11, and I write fan fiction.
You also sell Girl Scout cookies.
I sell Girl Scout cookies.
Can we link in the notes? I think we
Yeah.
can.
You can do whatever you
We
want.
can link to Girl Scout. Sure.
Cool.
I think, yeah.
We can make a
Um,
link. We can make a link tree. We'll make a little link tree for the show that has all of our various
Oh,
sundry,
yeah.
various and
Yeah.
sundry things.
Are we gonna make merch eventually?
Yes, we're gonna make thong bikini underpants for dogs.
And I
For dogs.
wait, okay. Can we get that for Olaf?
I don't want to wear it. That was cool.
Okay.
I said Olaf. Also, I
Look,
play
he's so
video
upset
games.
He got up.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He heard me do his voice and he came over.
Also, I play video games.
Yes, you do.
And
Play piano.
you are
Little Miss Movies.
cool.
I said that already. At the beginning.
So, Gable, do you want to explain how we got to what we're going to talk about this week?
You guys told me that if I did this movie, then I would get to choose the next movie.
Cool.
We're doing that.
That was a great story. I really enjoyed it. So, what movie did we do this week?
I think the person who chose it should say it this time, which is you.
That's me.
Yeah.
We did the original 1984 horror classic, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
And you guys watched the documentary after, in which I left the room
I don't know why you left the room.
because I didn't want to watch that.
So this is one of my favorite movies of all time, and we've been trying to get Gable to watch it for a while. We watched Halloween a few
On
months
Halloween.
back, which I think we might end up doing an episode on at some point. And I think Halloween's way scarier than Elm Street,
It's not.
and so we thought that
Halloween's not scary.
Halloween's not okay.
It's not scary.
So, but we figured it was appropriate. I think I was about 12 when I saw Elm Street. I didn't see it when it first came out. I have to admit that when I was a kid and I first saw it, like it was scary. Like this movie just absolutely scared the snot out of me when I was a kid. Did you ever find it scary, Josh?
Yeah. When I was for my second grade birthday party, so whatever that was, I was what,
Oh
8?
yeah, you told me about that.
I had my parents. We had a sleepover with some of my friends, and my parents let me pick the movie. And I'm not sure why I picked Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Why part 2?
I don't know. I don't know what inspired it, but I just remember we started playing it, and then everybody went home.
Well, because it's not quite the classic that the original is.
I don't think it was a quality issue.
Wasn't a
I don't think
quality
it was-
issue?
I don't think
No?
there was quality control.
My
problems.
friends would probably be fine watching it, except for
You haven't seen Part 2. It's very bad. It's very, very bad.
I just
Nightmare on Elm Street suffers from the reverse Star Trek syndrome. The Star Trek movies, the odd ones are always bad and the even ones are always good. Whereas with the Nightmare movies, it is always the odd ones that are good and the even ones are bad.
So 1, 3, 5, 7 are good.
Yes.
Is 5 good?
Yes.
Which one's 5? Is that
Dream Master.
Dream Master, not the Dream Child.
Right.
Okay.
Dream Child.
7 is technically New Nightmare, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. But then what's Freddy versus Jason?
So it's a whole other
That's
thing.
Friday the
that just doesn't
13th,
even
part
count.
17 and a half.
Yeah.
Technically, it's Friday the 13th, 11.
And a half.
And I think you could argue. I think all the Friday the 13th, there's no pattern to what's good. They're just all over the place.
Yeah.
The pattern is that Jason Goes to Hell is terrible. That's the pattern.
But
Okay.
Jason Takes Manhattan,
Delightful.
kind of okay.
I want to watch that kind of.
Jason
Yeah.
Takes Manhattan.
Well,
Is
you gotta
it scary
understand
or
the
is it
whole
just-
oeuvre.
Oh, Jason
It's
Takes
scary,
Manhattan.
It's just
No.
stupid.
It is. It's fun. It's stupid fun. I remember seeing that opening night with the Pack Theater, and that was fun. But getting back to Nightmare on Elm Street, Cable.
We're not going to talk about Jason Takes Manhattan.
Well, not yet. Well, no, we have to work our way up to that.
It's on a higher level than actual horror movies. I've been
It's
watching.
on a different level. I don't know. No, but we have to we have to
Watch it.
we have to explore the Friday the 13th universe for a little while before I think we get to Jason Takes Manhattan.
No.
But getting back to the movie we actually watched, what did you think of Nightmare on Elm Street?
It was good. It's on the same level as Halloween/Halloween 3 because we didn't record Halloween.
Okay, so I think you all don't realize, maybe you realize it, maybe you don't, listeners. For her to say it was good is monumental because pretty much everything she does, whether it's trying food, watching movies, going to school, everything, her answer
Going to
is
school is always it's all right.
it's all right. That is her answer to everything. It's all right. So it was good means that is
It was better than normal.
yeah. That's actually fairly monumental.
I mean, look, it's I think it's hard to argue that it's not a classic. I think it's what happened, Gable, to give you some horror backstory. Is slasher movies like this is a slasher, what we call that.
Yes, I know.
What is the first, you know what is considered the first slasher by a lot of people? It's a movie you've seen.
Psycho?
That is. There's actually another movie called Peeping Tom that came out, I think the year before. That's a British movie that is arguably the first one and is phenomenal. And your mom, I don't think you've even seen it.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's so
No,
good.
I
So great.
haven't.
Out of print. Can't get it here. No idea
Really?
why. Yeah.
That's really
I have
good.
it. I own it because you can't stop me. But so from Psycho on, you sort of have this like pattern of the movies that all sort of like do impressions of each other. So after Psycho, the next thing that sort of changed the format was a movie called Last House on the Left. And Last House on the Left was directed by Wes Craven. And Sean Cunningham was a producer on it. Those names are important in a second, right? So those guys made Last House on the Left. Last House on the Left was a movie about guys who home invade. There's a big, weird, in the early 70s, they made all these movies about bad guys who break into people's houses and do terrible things to them. I don't know why it was a thing in the 70s. I don't know, I think it must have been like the rise of crime at the time.
When did Home Alone come out?
Our dog is dying. Wow. Oh, weird. Oh, weird sound. But that was just sort of like what horror movies were at the time. There were some exceptions. Italian horror movies weren't that. They were still sort of gory mystery movies called Giallos, which are my favorite. But then the next thing that happened was a movie called Black Christmas. And Black Christmas
Heard of that.
is directed by Bob Clark, who you might know better from directing A Christmas Story. It is, in fact, his other Christmas movie. And Christmas Story is like a masterpiece. It's amazing.
Christmas
and it is,
Story is the leg lamp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Black Christmas is essentially a slasher movie where it's very gory. It's very like tensiony. You don't know who the killer is, and you're sort of like a mystery that you're involved in. From that begot Halloween.
Well, it also has Black Christmas is that the kind of the first instance of the final girl, or
Yeah.
what we
Yes.
like kind of regard as the concept of the final girl?
Yes, correct. So then that begot Halloween, right? and Halloween we know is sort of the thing that like kicked it off mainstream. Halloween was a little independent movie that made more money than God, made so much money, made John Carpenter a superstar, made, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis a superstar, made everybody involved a superstar. And then from that we got Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th was actually directed by Sean Cunningham, who produced Last House on the Left with Wes Craven. Then a few years go by, this whole slasher thing kind of like wore itself out. And there were so many of them. There's dozens upon dozens of slasher movies that happened between like first Friday's 79, 80, right?
I think so.
So
Was it
like
81?
so like between that and 1984, there were so many slasher movies that the whole genre was kind of like bastardized. Like it was really falling apart. And so Wes Craven, who had kicked off the whole movement kind of towards this kind of movie, had this script that he'd been trying to sell for years and years and years that nobody would buy. And finally, he convinced a guy named Bob Shea to pay for it and to make it. And they raised the money, they went to work, and that movie is Nightmare on Elm Street. The thing about this movie is it, like, exploded. It made so much money and was so successful that it restarted all the other franchises. So you got, you know, Halloween 4 because of it. You got the like fast, like all of a sudden you started having the annual Friday the 13th.
Interestingly, Friday the 13th, 1, 2, and 3, 80, 81, 82.
Yeah. And then not till then like 4.
Not until 84
Yeah.
is 4.
They rushed it out.
Mm.
So yeah, and what this movie does that's different, it's sort of like a smart thing, is when you meet Tina at the beginning of the movie, right? What do you expect from Tina?
She's going to be the last one
Right.
standing.
She's the hero. You think she's the hero, and then what do they do like 20 minutes in?
She's dead.
She dead. And like the best, like one of the best, most gory kills of all time.
It's not that. Yeah, it's kind of gory.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
It's like a great special effect.
Yeah,
Everything's great.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's very well
But
done.
so that movie,
Well done.
the model of Nightmare, from the sort of like wisecracking villain to manipulating you into like thinking who's going to be who's going to be the survivor, even eventually what would become the way that the sequels work, all that stuff became sort of standardized very much by Nightmare. Because truth be told, it is like my least favorite of all the franchises.
Nightmare is?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the first one especially, and I like 3 a lot.
Yeah.
But it's my least favorite of all the horror franchises. But the thing is so much exists because of it. We would not have my favorite like sequel of all time without it, which is, you know, Texas Chainsaw 2, right? Which is like Texas Chainsaw 2 is a parody of sequels. Like it is a parody.
You like that
movie.
one more than Texas Chainsaw?
No, I said favorite sequel.
Oh, I thought
Favorite sequel.
That's more, you like that more than like Evil Dead 2?
I do. Yeah.
You like that more than Halloween?
You like
2?
it more than Dawn of the Dead? Was Dawn of the Dead not really a sequel though, was it?
It's arguable.
Arguably a sequel.
You like it more than Halloween 2?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I
it's
do.
very bad, isn't it?
But so Nightmare has like a very important place sort of in pop culture history, and Freddy became such a like gigantic character that he was literally everywhere. Like we told you yesterday, he has a rap album.
He does?
Yes,
Yes, he
I
does.
have it.
Tell me that.
Oh, I have it outside.
Oh,
You can
God.
bring it in.
I
Yeah.
Bring it in. And play it
kind of
for
want to
you.
hear what that is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll play it for you.
So
Just have it playing over this part on the podcast.
So what were your impressions of Nightmare on Elm Street? Because you were very resistant to watching this. Like, were you resistant because you thought it was going to be really scary?
No, I just didn't want to watch it.
Why?
I just didn't want to watch it.
So no reason why.
My only reason, I just didn't want to watch
You
it.
just wanted to be a contrarian.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So
Yes.
what are your impressions of the movie? Well, actually, why don't you tell us what it's about?
It's about a bunch of teenagers who get killed by this dream demon.
Okay.
Who's not Bill Cipher.
Okay.
That's
But
the main thing.
Okay. Bill
Um,
Cipher, a Gravity Falls reference that I barely
Yes.
understand. Okay.
He's a dream demon triangle. Not much to understand.
Okay.
Get it together, Mom.
Get it together.
This is why I'm embarrassing, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
And then what were your impressions of,
it was good.
why was it good?
The special effects were cool.
It was good.
It just
So thanks for
was.
listening. I'm really glad you guys took time out of your schedule to suffer through us martyring and sniping at each other for 10 minutes to get to this very in-depth review.
Yeah.
It's good.
What did you like about it?
The special effects were good.
Okay.
Like the deaths.
Kills. We call them kills.
No, the
Yeah,
deaths.
in the
They are
business.
deaths.
No, they're kills.
No, they are deaths.
Yeah, death implies passivity, but these were not passive. They were very active, so they were kills.
You made me laugh so hard that I'm crying. Like the blood, with like the blood geyser in the
In Johnny Depp's room.
Johnny Depp
Yeah,
blood geyser.
that
Yeah.
one with the hole in the bed. That one. That was cool. And that one part with the death of the kid in prison, that he definitely wouldn't be dead.
Mm-hmm. We had an argument while
We
watching
did.
it about whether when the boyfriend who was suspected of having killed Tina, when he gets hung by his sheets, whether it would have actually killed him that quickly.
It wouldn't
Because
have,
it
though.
Wouldn't have, because he did not get his.
He was
neck
up there for
broken.
about like 3 seconds.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Yeah, he would definitely be fine. He'd maybe be passed out, but he wouldn't be like dead.
What do you think about the idea of if you die in your dreams, you die in real life?
It's really weird.
Do you believe that's a thing or no?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Maybe? I don't know. Probably
So,
not.
There's groups who claim that it's real, right? So there's a thing that happened. It's where he got the idea. Wes Craven got the idea for this movie from a news story that he read. It was about there was a bunch of Southeast Asian refugees who had fled a dictator, and they died. These 3 of these guys died the same way. They all died with. Now I'm just reading, so forgive me. They died when they would have nightmares, and they would not sleep. Right, like the nightmares were so scary they wouldn't sleep, and then they would fall asleep from exhaustion, and then they would wake up screaming, and their hearts would stop. So they would have a terrible dream. They would wake up, and they would refuse to go to sleep. Then they would go to sleep when they finally passed out from exhaustion, have a nightmare, and then wake up and die.
That's like not the same thing as the movie though. It's like not dying in your dreams where it's like that, where if you get killed in a dream, like then it happens in real life too.
Right.
It's more of like, I think it'd be better explained as like they had a terrifying blood curdling nightmare that when they woke up it scared them so much that their heart stopped or something.
Mm-hmm. So
Scared to death.
Yes. So it's a trope, right? You know, we talked about tropes. I feel like we mentioned it last
probably
time.
have.
Right? What is a trope? You know?
It's like a thing that's repeated in several different movies.
Yeah. So a trope is like a sort of a well-worn idea, something that as a culture, like we understand it to be maybe not true, but we understand it to be like a true statement of itself. And one of them is that if you die in your dream, you die in real life. And so it's interesting. What's sort of cool about this movie is not only do they use that, but they use it and they just sort of like everyone just sort of dances past it. They're all just like, well, it's totally reasonable. It's like a completely reasonable thing that's happening to us. And the parents, of course, don't have any, like, refuse to have any sort of concept. It's delightful. How do you feel about the like relationship between the kids and the parents, and like the sort of like how, because I think this feels different. Like Halloween 3 is essentially all from an adult point of view.
Yeah, it is.
Halloween is from the kids' point of view, sort of. We haven't talked about it before. So this is the closest where you're actually watching a movie about kids who are almost your age. They're only a little bit older than you. And they get up to all sorts
little
of...
bit.
Yeah,
Like 5 years older
They're
than
15, 4 years older.
You said they were 16.
They're 15.
When we're watching
And that one guy who's like
Nan-
30.
Nancy's,
Yeah, that
Nancy's
one
15.
guy.
Well, Tina was 15.
And then there's the guy in their class who looks like he's 45 years old. She's
Yeah.
wearing-
The one sitting in front of
Yeah.
Nancy.
Yes.
looks
Yeah,
like he should be wearing
he's
like-
totally 16-year-old.
Yeah, like he should be wearing a robe and smoking a pipe.
Yes, he should.
Or at least have a jacket with like elbow patches.
But so seeing a horror movie that is from a kid's point of view versus the horror movies that other horror movies you've seen, even in like the Universal movies or the other John Carpenter movies that are all from sort of adult points of view, did you find that part more exciting and like more identifiable for you that you're watching teenagers?
No, it's the same exact thing as before.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that was always the attraction, is that you were watching teenagers.
And the parents are pretty...
Oh, the parents suck.
The parents are pretty idiotic. Like Tina's mom at the beginning, you need to either cut your nails or stop that dreaming, one or the other. Like, what is that?
Also, my nails are long, and there's no way that like nails
Gable,
could cut.
you better cut those
No.
nails or stop that dreaming.
No,
One or
my
the
nails
other.
will stay long.
Like Nancy's
Forever.
mom. I would just always Nancy's mom. I do appreciate her.
I think I'm gonna quit drinking. You look a little flush.
Like a little peaked.
A little peaked. So you didn't find that part of it more like
You know,
attractive to you? Like
No.
you don't care that they were kids your age
Nope,
or closer to your age?
they're not my age.
Closer to your age. What about in Halloween? Which I understand we're not talking about, but I'm
So-
curious.
5-year-old kid who's a murderer, and then he grows up.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Michael
And
Myers.
we're-
I'm not saying do you identify with the serial killers. I'm saying do you identify with the teenagers? Like, does that make it feel like a little more?
No,
No, you don't feel like a bigger connection to the movies because
Nope.
of it.
Interesting.
Interesting.
What did you think of our hero in the movie? What did you think of Nancy?
she was good. She's also extremely smart to set up an entire booby trap system in 10 minutes without the internet to help her. She had a book.
She had a book.
She had a
She did
book.
have a
That's
book.
all
We used
she
to read.
needs.
We used to have those books.
Yeah.
Do we have one of those books somewhere?
I might actually have.
Really?
Really?
A booby trap book?
No, I have
A booby
I have a bunch of
trap?
like reference books. The book that's supposed to be is a book called The Anarchist's Cookbook, which was a thing that all of us little punk rock kids had when we were
Yeah.
teenagers. That was like a little like you bought it at like little like hippie stores or like punk rock stores, and it had all sorts of like this is how you make napalm, and you could make napalm, I guess, but I don't know that anyone ever did. Yeah, it told you how to do all sorts of mean and evil things
And illegal things.
for the name of anarchy.
But now we
Okay.
have the internet for that.
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what
the
the
internet for that.
internet's
Now we have the internet. I love Nancy. I
She's
think
good.
she's a fantastic hero.
She's like the girl in Alien.
Ripley.
Like Ripley.
Yeah.
You mean that movie that you really liked, even though you keep saying you didn't
I
like?
didn't like it.
Ridiculous.
I didn't like it.
The other part about the movie that I think this is also, I guess Halloween has it too. Like, how do you feel about the sexual content of the movie?
I wasn't really paying attention.
Look at that. So there you go, parents.
All right.
Sweet. It's another year we don't have to have this conversation. It's all
Win.
Ow.
So much winning.
Ow. Something in my eye.
And then what did you think about Johnny Depp?
Who's that again?
Her boyfriend?
Glenn,
Glenn.
the one in the bed. when he
Don't
gets
fall
sucked into the
asleep.
bed.
Mhm.
No, what did you think of him? Like, no?
No.
Nothing?
I loved him. Oh my gosh. Because this was his first movie. And I remember I had a picture of him and Nancy at the police station. I had a cut out of Fangoria and I had it on my mirror when I was, I think, like your age.
But you recognize who he is, though. When we
No.
told you.
Bill Murray.
No.
No. We told he's Jack Sparrow and
Oh,
Edward
okay.
Scissorhands.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he went on to become like one of the biggest stars of our
You
generation.
didn't tell me he was Edward Scissorhands.
I did.
We
You just
did.
don't listen to me.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No, we did.
I did.
You told me he was Jackson.
No, and then you stopped listening. I totally told you he was Edward Scissorhands.
He's Donnie Brasco, for God's sake. I'm just kidding. You don't know what that
What?
means.
That
I
is.
don't know who that is. Is
But
that Bill
no-
Murray?
You didn't look at that guy and be like, "That's."
No.
I can see how that guy became a huge star now.
No.
Okay.
He got cast because Wes Craven's daughter thought he was dreamy.
She was right.
Yeah.
She was right.
But it's nice. That's the other weird thing about slasher movies is you tend to have like young stars who show up. So like Friday the 13th has Kevin Bacon in it. And Kevin Bacon became a fairly gigantic star.
Yeah.
And you get to see him and he gets killed in what is quite possibly the best kill in any of these 80s slasher movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but when you see it, you're
Tell
gonna be
me.
like, "How the hell did they do that?" Because it's
Tell me.
amazing.
It is amazing.
Tell
No,
me and I'll take a guess
Nope.
without seeing it.
And you'll have to
no,
see it.
you'll have to watch it first.
I think now we can move on to Friday the 13th.
No. No.
Dude, it's
But
not
you like the
Oh
other.
my
You've
gosh.
liked the
No.
other
No.
two.
No.
like this didn't even get a it's all right. This got a it's good.
It's on the same level as Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is still lower than like Jaws and Simpsons movie.
I get that, but you liked them.
It's still lower than the highest, so.
What
So
is-
you are only interested in seeing things that you think are excellent. However, you are not willing to see things to find out if they are excellent. Just so we're clear, that's the
Is that where we're
rationale.
at? No.
Are you interested in seeing any of the other Nightmare on Elm Street
Friday
movies?
the 13th movies? No.
You're not. You liked this movie,
No.
but you don't want to see
The
any of the
second
other
one
ones.
sucks.
The third one's great.
But the second one sucks. And you have to watch the second one to get to the third
You
one.
don't. You don't need to watch the second one to get to the third one.
But it's
you
the
need to
rule
watch
of
the
series.
No, it's not. You don't need. Do you need to watch the first Halloween to get to the third one?
Well, that's different.
Yeah, that is
You
different.
do need to watch the first Halloween to watch the second Halloween.
Well, yeah, but you don't need to watch the second one. You don't. You need to have seen the first Nightmare on Elm Street to watch the third one.
The third one is sort of like a pickup of the first one. Like
Yeah,
they
the
sort of
second one
ignore
has
the second one.
very little to. The second one has nothing to do with the third one.
Okay.
And minimal to do with the first one.
Minimal to do with the first one.
Very not good.
Okay.
And she comes back. She's not in all the movies, but she's in 3 and she's in
New Nightmare.
6. No, and she's in 6 too. You think?
Is she?
Yeah, she
I
comes
don't
back.
remember. Which one is 6?
The one with the 3D. That's Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's dead. Okay. I don't
Freddy's
remember.
dead already.
No.
Twice.
Yeah.
He's like really dead.
And then,
He's
and
dead
then,
for the 6th time.
He
And
was
then
only a
he's-
little dead
and
before.
then he's not.
Now he's really dead.
I think that's 6.
Have you gone to see the house? I don't know if I've
Mm-mm.
ever gone to see the house. The house is here.
You know, for how much I love these movies, like I don't know that I've seen the Myers house, but I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen the house where the rest of the movie takes place.
Which I think they're on the same. They're all in Genesee, like
Yeah.
the babies, like the Halloween house
Yeah,
houses, and this house
yeah.
are all in the same. We should
When
go do
it's
that.
real, and like the two houses, Glenn's house is also there because they're actually across the street from each other.
Yeah, they actually
Yeah.
are. Yeah. And I think they filmed Nancy's bedroom. They filmed in the house.
Right.
I think the rest of it was a set, but they did film it. Oh, we should go. That'll be a fun family, COVID-friendly field trip to go look at these houses.
And make those people uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm got to be used to
Do
it.
people live in those houses?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're just houses.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you have any other thoughts? Do you have questions?
With oatmeal stairs. That's the weird part, is that they live in the house and they still have the oatmeal stairs.
What are oatmeal stairs?
When she's dreaming, the first time she like is hyper aware and goes into the dream where she asks Glenn to stay awake, and Freddy's chasing her and she runs back into the house and her feet get caught in the stairs.
Oh.
So when her feet go in the
Yeah.
stairs, that's oatmeal. That's how they're all sticky.
Okay.
See, and I think that's the one. You think it's a great effect, but you can actually
No, I'm just
see
totally,
like
I'm just
where
totally fine with it. That's all. I just think it's great.
just because you can see like before she steps into it where it is.
Yeah.
They could have framed it so that you couldn't see it. So
I'm on board. I love it.
yeah.
All right. What are your questions?
Well, you answered 3 of them already.
Were they all your standard?
No, one of them was where did the idea come from?
Oh, okay.
Daddy answered that already.
Okay.
How did they do the Freddy effect? Like, how did they make Freddy look like he looks like in the movie?
Oh, how they make him look burned?
Yeah.
It's prosthetics.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're rubber appliances. That guy, so the actor, Robert Englund, is he was a character actor. Who we know him from
From V.
there's a TV movie called V, TV miniseries called V about aliens.
About like lizard aliens.
And he
Okay.
plays like the other aliens are all like they're all like secret evil people, and he's one of the not evil secret
Aliens.
evil people.
So
yeah.
he's like very kind of meek and mild and very
dumb.
sweet.
He's like very dumb and like he sort of plays like he comes off like he's a moron.
And
It's-
it was a huge miniseries that
Yeah.
everybody watched. So when we found out that it was the same guy who was playing Freddy Krueger, that was
was very confusing.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
Yeah, no, it was like, I think it was, those are pretty, especially for back then. It was a lot of prosthetics that they had to do, and I think like as the movies go on, the prosthetics got a little more polished, and he looks less gross. Like
He looks less gross.
he looks less gross, but it's sort of, I think he just looks the same. Like he in this, like he's a little more uneven, and like he from scene to scene, even it doesn't always look the same,
Mm-hmm.
which is sort of neat.
Yeah.
Whereas it eventually just got very, very standardized.
Yeah, like they got it down.
Yeah.
And also about him, why is he called Fred in the movie? But like
Everyone calls him Freddy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then like the song, they say Freddy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, like, I've always found it weird that the kids always call him Fred.
But they call
It's Fred.
The little kids doing the jump rope call him Freddy.
Mm-hmm. But when Nancy does both.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Fred. He's coming to kill me.
No, but when
Doesn't
she's
sound
like
right.
calling for him, like she calls out
she
Freddy.
does call Freddy.
Like she says Fred because she's reading the name inside the hat.
Fred.
Well, just
Krueger.
like all, like I'm formally Christina, but lots of people call me Chrissy. So
That's your name?
stop it.
Jesus, doing it wrong.
But
all
you
these
go
years.
between Josh, like some of us call you Joshy,
Some of my school friends at Girl Scout troop people call me Gabby.
even though you hate it.
No one call me Gabby,
Yeah.
please.
So I don't know. I don't think it's that odd to go, between Fred and
Okay.
Freddy. But Nancy does call him Freddy.
Okay. And this one needs a bit of explaining on your part. It's about the ending. Like, why did they decide on the ending that they chose?
Oh, because we watched all the variant endings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I think the reason why they shot a bunch of them was they couldn't decide what the right one was.
Well, did Wes? I was always under the impression that Wes Craven actually wanted to like end the movie with Nancy turning her back on him and having it work, and that it was like a studio thing to set it up for a sequel. Is that accurate or no?
I don't think so. I mean, it was clearly shot at this, like the outside stuff feels like it was shot at the same time.
Yeah.
At least, like it was shot,
Well, I'm not
in
saying
the shoot.
but I think like originally like with the script, and I don't know for sure, but that the studio was like, no, we're setting this up for a sequel.
Maybe my thing with it is always that scene of her turning her back is stupid. Like,
Oh,
it's just-
really?
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. Like,
Why?
Because it's like it's sort of counterintuitive because they aren't scared. Like they aren't scared of him. They don't know who he is yet. Somehow he exists. Like it's just such a weird thing. Like he has power even though they have no reason to be afraid of him because he doesn't exist.
What?
So like,
Well, no. I mean, they're afraid of him because he's scary.
right, but how does he exist in the first place in the dream world?
Well, I don't. I think you're that now. I think you're overthinking it.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
you are.
But that what they have the whole with Glenn explaining like how that's how you take away the power of something. I always liked it. I always liked Nancy grabbing that power for herself and turning her back on him. I always liked that.
But I think doing it where you think that's the ending and then in fact he's still there is like,
Yeah, it's weird.
oh no, I think that's what makes the ending make sense is that
I mean, yeah,
Really?
it's
such a
still
like
weird.
he needs a way because Freddy's trapped in the real world and he needs a way to get back to the dream world and like that does it. And then she's just in like they're both in the dream world essentially. The part I think is weird is when mom becomes a burnt skeleton that
Who goes into a bed.
goes into a bed.
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
the
So it's
dad
like,
is
is
like,
that-
oh, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of like, whatever.
But is that a dream? Like we never, like what ultimately like what is a dream and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why Glenn is able to like die at 12. Everybody is there and has been there for a while by 12:10. And she is able to set up the booby traps and go to sleep by 12:20 because it's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how.
I think that it's like what I think ending of Gravity Falls is, where it's a mix between dream and reality.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm, like, this is literally what I was thinking for Gravity Falls. There's no way it's all real. It's gotta be partly dream.
Yeah.
So, like, it's the same thing for that, where part of it's dream, part of it's real. They're just kind of blended together, so you don't know which is which.
Well, yeah, like the phone. Like when she like pulls the phone out of the wall,
Mhm.
like she's supposedly awake, right? But
Mhm.
then when the phone rings and she picks it up and there's his tongue,
The tongue comes
like,
out.
is she in a dream? Is it? So it all gets very.
But that's also
Is the
why
whole
two,
thing? Is just the whole
But
thing a
that's
dream?
also why 2 sucks, is because 2 is sort of like extrapolates on that rather than just like setting up the rules, because 2 is all about the like, oh, he's in the real world and he has a body, he's using the kid's body to come out. And
Yeah.
it just makes no sense. Like it's they double down on that side of it rather than
The
the
whole
dream side of
dream
it.
thing. That's
Yeah.
all, and
That's
you
the
just
actual
don't know.
concept, yeah.
You just don't know. There really aren't rules in this
But we
first
just
one,
say,
are there?
how about we just say time is dead in that sequence of 10-minute long booby traps.
Time is dead. Well,
Time is
again, 'cause
dead.
they really don't establish the rules.
Gable, does
But
it
it's
make
okay.
you does it make you want to watch more of them if I tell you one of the sequels has a kill that is focused on the Nintendo Power Glove?
Yeah, let's go.
And when Freddy does the kill, he says, "Now you're playing with power, bitch."
Yes.
Does that excite you?
Yes, let's watch that.
Freddy does start calling a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of women, bitch. in
Yes.
these movies.
No, that's not a woman. He's saying it to the video game nerd guy.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
He
The
calls
video
a
game
lot
nerd
of
guy.
people bitch
Yeah.
in these subsequent films.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
that-
watch that.
That's the weird part, is that the movies become very dopey. Like they become very
They do.
silly very quickly.
They stop being scary, which I guess, again, this movie actually was really scary back in the day. Although now I guess it's not.
I saw Texas Chainsaw so young that it like, I just have Texas Chainsaw as that was like my baseline for everything else, and Stephen King books. Like I have no.
What is that? I don't. What are you saying?
I'm saying like it was just never scary. To go back to when you asked me before if I thought it was scary.
See, but I saw. Well, I think at that age, and at Gable's age, I saw Texas Chainsaw when I was 12, and it did not faze me. I can't watch it now, so I think your perceptions of things when you're younger are very different. I was much more tall. I loved horror movies when I was 12, and and I'll sit down and watch some of them with you, but I have a harder time with them now than when I was younger.
Your mom's a wuss, is what you said.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
I'm not
but
a
I
wuss.
do love this movie. I love this movie. Nancy is just one of my all-time just favorite film characters. And I'm glad that you've seen it now.
You got any other questions for us?
No. Again, you answered like half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that means
Is it time?
it is time.
For the thing that you created,
Okay.
yet don't want to
Well,
use.
wait. Well, no. First off, would you recommend this to your friends? For your friends?
Maybe.
Maybe some of them.
Yes.
Okay.
What if I told you there was a series of movies called Slumber Party Massacre, where the second one stars Crystal Bernard from Wings, and the villain has a power drill that's also a guitar,
What does that
and that's
mean?
what he kills people with.
What does
Is
that mean?
Is that of interest to you at all?
No.
Really, just striking out left and right over here.
It just sounds really weird.
It is very weird.
Yeah.
I don't
very-
want to watch that.
Very, very weird.
I don't want to know
But that
anymore.
Crystal Bernard. Oof.
I don't want to know anymore.
So, anyways, back on point. How many Gable smiles on a scale of whatever to whatever?
1 to 5.
Sure.
Do not know how to count.
Yeah, I think it's 1 to 5.
It's 1 to 5.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. What was the final rating for Godfather again?
The final rating for Godfather?
I don't remember. I don't remember because I don't want to rank it the same.
I think the rating for your personal preference was like a 3-point blah blah blah,
Okay. 3.5967.
something like that.
3274. Okay.
So
.com.
what? Yeah.
.gov.
4.497.
Yeah.
6.
4.5, what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Wow, that's pretty high. It's not Jaws high.
But you don't want to watch more of them. It makes no sense.
No, I
it
don't.
makes no sense.
I
at all.
don't. I don't want to watch more.
But you love things that have multiple
But
episodes
you
to
are,
watch.
Gable. You are.
It's called. Okay.
Oh, dude, we are totally watching Part 3, The Dream Warriors.
No.
It is great.
It is great.
No, we're watching the Power Glove one. Which one's
Which
that?
one is that?
I think it's 5.
Is it?
Watching 5 next.
Okay, so next time, are we doing a movie of her choice?
Yes.
We are, but I think
That was the
there's one
premise.
part of this that you have not thought through, Gable.
What?
Which is that you have to lead the conversation.
Oh.
So you need to
So
actually...
can I choose a different movie that I know more about?
Yes, but not the Simpsons
Not
movie.
the Simpsons movie.
I know about some. Okay. I'll find a new movie.
But you
But
need
you
to
are
do...
leading the
I'll do
conversation.
my
so, like,
research.
You need to do the research and you need to get it together.
Does it need
If
to,
Gravity Falls is a
does it-
movie, I could
does
totally
it,
do
Does
that.
it need to be a movie she has seen and we have not?
I mean...
I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. I mean, the closest we would get to that is I would make you guys watch an episode of Gravity Falls.
No.
Yeah, that's the closest you
It's
get
not
to
a
something.
movie.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. The closest we would get is that.
We'll figure it out. I don't think the audience needs to listen to the negotiating that we have to do with our preteen.
Okay.
Oh, you think we do? You think they do want to hear it?
Nah, they don't want to hear this. This is just gonna drag on for a very long
Yes,
time.
it is.
I mean, are we gonna revisit some of the movies that we watched during our hiatus?
I think we should do them all during like a one big episode.
They Live, Gable. What do you think about They Live?
Oh, They Live. Are we doing it now?
I'm just asking.
It was all right.
You're ridiculous.
Oh my god. Halloween?
Halloween is on the same level as
So that means
Nightmare.
it was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
They Live is just like right under those two movies.
Mildred Pierce?
What? Did
You don't remember seeing Mildred Pierce?
I
What?
don't remember seeing
I,
Mildred
I don't
Pierce.
remember
We
seeing
saw
that.
it at the Legion.
Oh, did we?
There was that
Did
very
we?
short period of time where we got to go to movies
Oh, yeah.
before.
Oh, yeah.
I think I fell asleep for that.
Oh.
I fell asleep for a lot of movies at theaters.
Black Widow. Did you come see Black Widow with me?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, no, I did. I saw it with you when we saw it in Iowa, but I fell asleep for the last half of it.
Did you?
Yeah. I woke up and she was at the grave and I didn't understand what was happening. I was like, wait, what happened? The credits were rolling.
Yeah.
What did we see?
We never
we
talked
saw
about
Die
that.
Hard at the Hollywood Legion, but we already discussed that.
Plus, I fell asleep.
During Die Hard, you
Yes,
did?
I did.
Did you fall asleep during Mystery of the Wax Museum?
No.
You stayed up for that? I don't even remember that one, though.
Yes, because I thought the plot of that would be like the Gravity Falls episode where wax figures come to life and try to murder everyone.
Wasn't it? I don't remember
No.
now. I don't remember
Not
that
really.
movie. That movie did not
Not
stick with
really.
me.
It wasn't. It was very strange, and that's what pretty much what I remember of it.
I get it confused with the episode of
Twilight Zone.
because they feel like they're
Oh
the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched part of that with you
Mhm.
Yeah.
because maybe we watched it on New Year's Eve.
Huh. We're cutting all of this out, right?
I don't know.
Nah.
Say goodbye, Gable.
Bye.
Gable.
Bye.
Gable.
Bye.
Jesus Christ.
Goodbye, Cable.
Oh,
What?
no. I
What?
mean, I guess we talked about the sex. That's inappropriate for
I said I wasn't paying attention.
right.
I think that was when I was asking for
Well,
water.
it's like... What?
I think that was when I was asking for water.
Okay, good timing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like...
I was paying
it's
attention.
I mean, it's kind of barely there.
Yeah.
Like when you guys were getting up, so I was like, "Oh, can you get me some water?"
At the beginning of the movie?
It was like around the beginning, kind of.
Huh.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I was waiting for Freddy to come and murder.
But so there is, if you're a parent, there's sex.
But not much.
Yeah.
So, not... I mean, not...
And
not-
why
not-
do you
not-
have so much of a problem with sex when
Not
violence
graphically.
doesn't bother you?
That's
Parents
always...
at
That's,
home.
that's American society,
That
dear.
is American
That
society.
is American society.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
We can watch somebody's guts fall out, but don't show boobs.
That's right.
That's us.
That's right.
Maybe cut that out.
That's
too.
right, Coley.
Our dog is sitting here.
Yeah, he's saying yes.
All right.
All right. Well, you're the one who has to edit all this, honey. So
Enjoy.
if you want to stop.
Thank you guys for listening. We will
Thank
see you
you.
in a week with
See
whatever
ya.
Gable decides to torture us with.
Yeah.
Ay.
I like to say whatever I choose, and then you say I can't choose the movie that I want to choose and actually know about.
What?
What, the
Simpsons
Simpsons movie?
I know about it.
I mean, we can
it.
do the... You know what? I will do the Simpsons movie
As long as you don't have
if
to watch
I
it again.
don't have to watch it.
Okay.
If you want to talk about the
I'll
Simpsons
research.
movie, we can.
I shall
just,
research.
I just don't want to have to watch it again because I have
Okay.
watched that a lot.
You watched it 2 times.
It's a lot.
It's enough. I watched it 2 times in like a very short period. Okay, are we done?
Period of like a month.
Say goodnight,
Okay.
Gable.
Good night.
Gable.
Good night.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay.
You're
Thanks,
fierce.
guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
The Little Miss Movies podcast is hosted by Josh Fialkov, Gable Fialkov, and Christina Rice. We're recorded, mixed, and produced in North Hollywood, California. Series art by Gabo. Episode art by Gable Fialkov. Theme song by Joshua Fialkov. All contents copyright 2022, Valoria Shines Inc. Visit us online for more at littlemissmovies.com.